I made a status the other day, like, it's unfortunate, I promise you, look at every other episode, I have on black brand.
Well connected.
Today is the only episode I haven't worn black brand.
Yeah.
But I made a status of a big flex where I said, you buy the designer, I buy from the designer.
Right.
That's a bigger flex.
That
Like,
is a bigger
when
flex.
I get my
Directly
stuff from
the
Devin,
designer.
that's a bigger flex. Like, if you knew the person who made Gucci, that'd be a flex.
Yeah.
But you don't.
You don't know that.
I know the black designer. I'm buying from her. It's a
Yeah.
flex.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe
take
it.
pride in our black brands, bro.
Yeah. Welcome to Life is a Scam podcast. I am your host, Seyi 2 times. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a very exciting episode coming your way. We have two guests, two new faces. Well, one new face. Devin's a regular now. So we do have a very interesting topic coming your way. But before we jump into that, we want to ask you guys to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell everybody you know. I want you to comment and tag every single person you know under this post, under this reel we gonna make.
You
So
gonna do that?
no, Wes gonna make the reel.
You gonna do it? You gonna tag everybody you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna tag everybody I know.
Everybody you know.
Everybody. All
Everybody.
700 followers I have is gonna be tagged. Right. Big cap. Now I'm gonna tag a few, but tag people. You know, tell your friends. I feel like what we do here is very entertaining. We are on the verge of something excellent. So support us. Because when you blow up, you want to be like, I supported them when they started. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Just sounds like Akin for a second. You get somewhere.
What's our subscribers called?
Say it again.
What's our subscribers called?
Scammers. So shout out to all the scammers out
Shout out to all the scammers in the building, because life is a scam. But we're going to talk about something interesting today. I'm talking about fashion, brands, luxury brands, and just kind of everyone has their own swag. You want to talk about where you get that swag from, where you get your fashion sense from, and what makes you you. Okay.
Sauce.
What makes you saucy? Okay. So before before we jump into it, I'm gonna let our guest introduce themselves. I want to know about your brand. I want to know why you decided to go into fashion, and just kind of tell us about yourself. Yeah, go ahead, go first, bro.
I was gonna say ladies first.
Oh, ladies, okay.
you want
Ladies
smart.
first. I like it. Chivalry is not dead, y'all. Chivalry is not dead. Ladies first. Devin, go ahead and do your thing.
So I'm Devin. My brand is called SE Stat, which stands for Social Economic Status. I started my brand, it's both fashion forward, but also to help the community. More so, I started it in college. I kept hearing my professors say because of someone's social economic status, they're more geared to, to have bad endings in their life, or, go through a lot of trials in their life. So I wanted to take that phrase and flip it. So one thing you notice about somebody when you first see them is their fashion. That's how you perceive them. So that's why I wanted to take that term and create fashion that's impactful.
I like that. That's nice. So SE stands for one more time?
Social economic status.
Social economic status.
Yes.
Yeah, I need a shirt when your next line drop instantly.
I have two, by the way.
Next
That's
May.
what I
Oh,
have.
yeah?
Chicago, Atlanta.
Okay. I like it. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, so I go by Mr. Lil. So the name of my clothing brand is called Lil Clothing Line. So pretty much there's no like dope story. You tell me like this stuff. And I think for me it was just more of like something I wanted to make something that reflected myself or reflected African culture, like back home. So initially when I first started, actually I was like doing shirts with like African fabrics and stuff like that, whatever. And that was difficult because I literally had to teach myself how to sew and other things and like get a sewing machine and all that. I did that for a while. Then I soon realized, the time that I put in, I couldn't sell it for the price I wanted to sell it for.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just go to like digital printing and like custom design, like designs and stuff like that. So initially I started back in college just like we did too. And like over the years, I deviated from like just t-shirts, I made like sweaters, I made workout gear for women, and like also like slim bags for men and stuff like that. And like I just feel like just making different variety of different things. So again, you can follow us on Instagram, Lil Clothing Line, and you can also like check us out. Kind of got it like yeah.
My man's K actually work out too. Like damn, the shirt go up and down and up and down. So what?
Usually Akin with that type of activity.
I feel it though. You looking good, man.
I don't work out. out, bro. So like, shit, I'm gonna let y'all get y'all look low.
Before we jump into the icebreaker, two things. Do you want to plug your? Do you have an Instagram page for?
Oh, yes, I do have an Instagram page. It's called SEStat, so S.E.Stat, STAT_.
Perfect.
Funny story. I'm gonna cut you off real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Sorry. It was just Sunday. I told you about it. I got her professionally hood hoodie. I kind of like that hoodie. It's like professionally.
Oh, you made
hood.
that.
That's a hoodie.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I was
I like
rocking
that.
it. Right?
I
I'm
like
rocking
that.
it at Walmart on Sunday, and the lady's like, "That's a nice hoodie." You know, another look like that's very nice too. I'm like, this is my
You
homie.
need to get her business card and be like,
Right,
boom,
you know,
here's
I
here's
can
me
get
order.
You should like, yo, like, IG, like,
Let him
Let me
land.
land. So then I said, you know what? She got an Instagram or something. I was like, say, yeah, facts. I see that. She's like, she black. Yeah, she is
Yeah.
black on. She's like, okay, I'm gonna tune in.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, yeah, that's a cool story. I love to hear that. I know we need more of that. Definitely do. All right, but before we jump into our main topic, or into our icebreaker, I am rocking Victoria Henley, VH. Victoria Henley is my wife's profile. She does a luxury brand. Well, if you guys can see the back, it'll say "In luxury we trust." That's her like her motto. It's very cool. I like it. This is a shirt that it's a sweater that I got a few months back. But you can follow her at Victoria Henley. I think it's just that Victoria Henley, just that Victoria.Henley. Yeah, we're gonna throw it on there. She makes fashion, but she makes clothing for men and women as well. So. Yeah, she cool. Our icebreaker for the day. I'm gonna put y'all on the spot. I wanna know, what is the most you've ever spent on a name brand item? And what name brand was it? Okay? I'll go first so y'all can think it over, kind of process a little bit. The most I've ever spent wasn't for me, it was for my wife. I got my wife some red bottoms. I like Chelsea boots, right? So it ain't even Chelsea boots. It's like a boot. It's like a booty type thing. It's like it was like a high ankle, but it was all black. It was suede, zipped up to the top. Sexy as hell. I love it. I love what you wear in shoes. So I bought it for her. That cost me. I think that cost me. I think it was 15.
That's why you like when she wears
$15.
Right. You better love it when she wear it.
Bro, I ain't gonna spend $15 on the shoe.
I want him to say that. He gonna say 15.
It was 1,500. It was 1,500.
Say it with your chest, bro.
Yeah, that one hurt. But I think that's the most I spent. I'm gonna get a little bit more. I'm gonna get a little purse, for her birthday, but that's the most I spent so far. Yeah. It wasn't for me. I'm not spending that much on myself. So, yeah, who's ready? Who's ready to go? Oh, no, we gotta start with the fashion mogul.
Yeah, open it up.
He wears name brand everything. I think he got red bottoms on right now.
Take a damn and pull something.
Right, go ahead, preach to us.
Okay, so the question was, how much is the most you've ever spent?
Yeah, and what was the brand?
Question. I think so I do wear a few pieces, right? But
That's how you know you spend money on clothing, when you call it a piece.
listen, I have a plug. So the only thing I think I ever spent like retail price was a purse when I was with my mom. So it was like the Neverfull purse. So
Okay.
I think it was like 12.
1,200?
Yeah. Was it like that was a gift
Yeah.
for birthday?
Yeah, same for me. It was a gift for my wife's birthday. Yeah. So,
Not just for content for this episode, but I'm really like on some really cool black shit. But the most I spent was on some Virgin shoes.
okay.
Like off-white type shit. I never really believed in the designer thing. Still
I can
don't.
attest to that.
Only because I grew up not being able to afford it.
Yeah.
As I got older, I can afford it. I still ain't doing it. So I'm gonna support black. So I want to say about 3 something. Plus some Virgin. Other than that, I'm not going over there.
about your mics?
Don't worry about
You
that.
said what about what?
Your mics.
Yeah, them under
This is the all-white
Virgin,
brand.
Virgin,
The
trying to
off-white,
take
They're charging.
them all-white floors was nice though.
Virgin,
But
yeah.
go ahead, Dad. What about you?
The most I've spent on myself for shoes, red bottoms.
Okay, where about? Okay.
Probably the most I spent on myself. I think I think they were. I think it was like 800.
800. Oh, that's solid. That's solid.
But like I'm not that big of a designer person.
Okay.
I'm more so about style.
About
Like, if
looking
people,
good.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend money to look good.
But also I do like some designer, but style it well. Don't just slap on some designer.
Don't let your clothes wear you. Wear your clothes.
So
No one's good crazy.
the shoe that I bought, real quick. I'm sorry before y'all go. I bought these shoes for my wife. I bought them a half size, 6 small. So we took them in to go get them to get a better size. We went in there. There was this one dude that worked for Christian Design, and he had on a jean jacket tucked into his jeans. I swear to God. He had on a jean. Imagine a jean. He had a jean jacket buttoned up to about mid-drip, and he tucked it into his jeans. And it was a dude. He had super tight skinnies. So you could see that his jeans was tucked in. And I'm like, gee, he had a belt on.
Oh, you got to show the belt.
You tucking in a jean jacket in your jeans?
That's
If
the part.
you got a trench coat on, you better get that shit right. If you're wearing a belt,
Depending on what type of
it's
belt
to
you
it.
got.
You feel me? You
Depending on
said
what type of belt you got.
me when he got tucked in his captain gown and shit.
Bro,
That's my best.
bro, man.
That takes on what Devin said. Just because you wear name brand, don't mean you gotta look tacky.
Don't look crazy.
Don't wear the belt. How you gonna tuck in a jean
Don't
jacket?
The outfit is not for the belt.
Don't think the brand is the style.
Exactly.
The brand is not the style. You are the style.
Yeah, but go ahead. How much did you spend? And what was the name brand? And how much did you spend on?
To be honest, I'm a simple man by nature, so I'm very simple. So I try not to I don't really spend much. So I'll probably just go as far as probably saying, I think the most I probably actually spend on a brand was probably $350.
That's all right.
And I think it was a gift to a friend too. So pair of shoes.
Okay.
Y'all most expensive gifts I could.
Are for other people?
It ain't for us.
Yeah, because I don't, yeah, because for me, just I don't really just to kind of go by what you said, it's all about I could buy I've shopped at the thrift store before where I bought something and I wore it and people like, damn, what is that? It's a matter of how you wore it and how you looking, and so
Okay, I wear athletic gear all the time. You'll see me in some cross trainers, some joggers, and a t-shirt. That's my go-to look. Yeah, he ain't gonna dress it right here. Follow my man at Capable. He be dressing his ass off. How much you just spent? How much you spent?
6 figure.
Let me get it down.
so spend a mortgage or something.
Right.
Somebody's mortgage.
So kind of like Wes, and that's kind of why we're also going to talk about this topic, because you just got to be smart. So personally, I probably don't spend that much on design as well. You just got to know people in certain aspects. So a lot of the stuff I got,
You got a plug.
we work together. I was the plug when I was with the
MK.
company. Yeah.
He was the MK plug, definitely. Everybody got watches. The whole crew had watches.
Yeah.
Belts. Yeah, all of the above.
I get my watches. I get my watches for them at 90% off or something like that. So then I just make trades with those watches because they cost more. But I think the most I spent, I bought a Burberry belt for $3 something like that. That was just recently. I wear white tees, bro. I wear white tees.
That's not what your Instagram say, but it's cool. I'm gonna let you live. Drop first. Yo, what? You get gunshots when I say that?
Instagram don't really have design on it like that. So you just gotta be smart with what you do.
Yeah,
like we were talking about it because I wanted to come up with a black group and have everything. So from airlines to hotels to even just Turo, everything like that. We just plug each other up.
Yeah.
Because I had somebody that worked at Marriott, so I had. When I traveled, I got to plug with that.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't have was flights.
Makes sense.
It'd be complicated, but
I work at Blue Cross Blue Shield. I can plug out with health insurance.
You never know.
Look, if you need some help with health insurance, he can plug you. I went crazy at work, so I'm good on that one. But when one of our episodes, Akin was saying, we literally have to work together, and because we have the mentality, people get on to something, they don't want to tell anybody about it. It's no, I'm on it. I don't want to lose my job. I'm on it. Put people on, that's what it's about. Everybody got bust down now. What you talking about?
Did you raise your hand?
I got
He
it.
said, yeah.
No, but I was gonna say to expound upon that. Just like I think Yeah, you see there's no cafeteria.
And
But,
then,
I'm acting different today. But, no,
Ambivalent.
but I will say, because we've had conversations, I've had conversations with Adonis about it, and that's all it is. Because even my time working in athletics, where it's like, let's say certain things like luxuries, like courtside seating or in the booth, like skybox or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people think like it's just people with money that pay for those things, right? But it's not. A lot of times it's, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, he's a lawyer. He'll get me in there, and it's all that goes on in there is networking.
Absolutely.
They don't care about the game, nothing. So I'm bringing this point just to say, like, honestly, everything is just about networking, like, and like getting deals that way. Because if you pay for things full price and just to keep up with the Joneses, you're gonna go broke. You feel me? You trying to keep up with some people. That's what I'm saying. Like, you may try to keep up with somebody you see sitting courtside. They got that ticket for free.
man, fuck them prices. That's how I feel. Like real shit. I'm gonna let y'all. I got a $2,000 jacket, and I paid $40 for it. Like real shit. So that's even that. Like my eyes just opened up to it. My eyes just opened up to a lot, man. Like when you go to Rodeo Drive, you have every designer that's out there on the same block with the same item of clothing.
Yeah.
All they put is their name on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great that whoever that designer was worked so hard to get their name up there to, you pay that certain amount. But fuck all that.
It's
G.
really not the
Like,
special.
It's
a purse.
Walmart
At the end of the day, it's a purse. Yeah,
literally.
it's a purse. It's a shirt. It's
And you
a
get
button
your
up.
mind
It's
picked
a
you get your mind
blazer.
picked up on that designer.
Yeah.
Fuck that designer.
Just-
and that price, so just think about it. Somebody else paid $2,000 for that jacket.
Yeah.
And I paid $40. And then some people too, the mentality, we've been so screwed in mentality. Like I have a lot of people like, oh, you paid $40? Oh, they gotta be fake.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I ship it to every fucking store in the United States.
Yeah.
Like I ship the shit there, and then they be like, huh? I'm like, yeah. I can let you know how that process shit works. So all that design shit.
To give more context, 'cause I think if the viewers don't know what you're talking about right now, are you saying you work for MK?
Yeah, so
MK jacket.
Yeah, so,
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead,
yeah. So when
elaborate.
I worked in Los Angeles, and personally I dealt with all wholesale accounts. So another thing that I didn't know when I was younger is like, you walk into Ross and you see some Air Force Ones, right? You'd be like, oh man, them ones gotta be fake. It's say $30.
Yeah.
No, it's literally the only thing that might be different, not with ones, but like a t-shirt, it might just be lower quality, maybe.
Yeah.
But what happens too is sometimes you might have the designers, they design some shit and they think it's gonna be cold, right?
Yeah.
And you release 2,000 to retail.
Yeah.
If it doesn't sell on retail, after a while, they don't want to lose money.
Right.
So like, all right, let's move these units to wholesale accounts. So like with Michael Kors, it was like Marmax. So Marmax is actually TJ Maxx and Marshalls combined together. They're all under the same umbrella. You got Burlington, you got Macy's. So the same shit y'all get out of Macy's, you can get it at Ross. If you didn't know that.
Yeah.
You have all those wholesale accounts, Dillard's, everything like that. And I'm telling you, I did that for like 2 years. That's all you're shipping to. It's the same shit. So don't think it's different. And you looking at somebody else like, oh, they got their shit from Ross. You're rocking the same shit. You just pay somebody. You went to work. You went to work. You worked harder to pay somebody else. So don't play
Shop
yourself.
at Russ, man, no cap. So
Same.
Yeah.
People be in my DMs like, where you shop? I be like, JCPenney.
I shop
Like Ross, ATM, like don't tweet.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah, let's kind of go back to what you kind of said about with the branding and stuff like that. So a couple years ago, I saw like a clip online. So it was like it was right before Steph Curry dropped his shoes, and they were making fun of the shoes or whatever, and they looked or whatever.
Oh, the white ones.
Yeah. So somebody had a picture of a shoe. So so I think it was like, I want to say it was like some Shaqs, like Shaq or whatever. So it was some Shaq where they put the Nike logo on it, and people were like, "Yo, that shoe is cold.
Dope
Like,
as hell.
yo, that's a dope ass shoe." Then the dude was like, "Okay." Then he took the Nike logo off and put the Shaq logo. They're like, "Bro, man, ain't nobody getting no."
Ain't nobody wearing that.
And it was trying to tell like, "Dude, it's all about branding."
Yeah.
Because I put the Nike logo on there,
paying
you
for
were like,
the
"Yo,
brand.
you're gonna pay
You're
for
brand.
it."
You're paying for the look.
Same thing happened with Payless.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know what city they did it in, but they changed
was LA.
Payless.
LA.
It was LA. I didn't want to make sure I was tweeting, but they changed Payless to Paylessy. Same shoes, Payless what, $19.99, $9.99. They put $1,000, $1,500 on that. People were like, oh my god. And they were like,
I mean-
you look tweaking. This shit is like, it's all psychological.
It's like, but like I said, it's all about branding, but it's also like, it depends on what type of brand you want to be, depending on what you want to attract. As far as if you want to be a brand that is luxury, people call it luxury, you want people to feel like they can't get it.
Anyway,
Because
yeah.
that makes people want it more, but you can't get you want more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then you can price your things.
Same with
certain
Jay.
ways.
And
That's why they release
It's
Jay's.
tied to that mentality though. Like people just want to be exclusive. And
But that's what marketing is.
Yeah,
Like
that's
how
what it is.
That's
People want to be
marketing.
exclusive,
But
and
see,
that's
I
part
feel
of the
like
scam,
it's
though.
marketing, but it's also business. Because think about it like this. Like, okay, so I'm gonna tie it to what I do. I'm a personal trainer, right? I charge a certain amount because of the time that I have to spend with each client, right? If you worked with me 5 years ago when I was charging $25 a session, right now I'm charging $55 a session. If you can't pay it, it's cool. I don't need to train.
I can't afford it.
And that's cool, right? And that's the same way
Yeah.
luxury brand
Yeah.
feels. Like if you can't afford me, that's cool.
Right.
I'm not
But
for
you
you.
put the time in already.
Yeah.
though.
But it's
You put the time
it's
in.
levels
Yeah.
to it for real. It really is levels.
And I feel like right, but I feel like that's how luxury brands feel too. Though they like, I've been this name for so many years, so I can tie this name to it. I got a question for y'all. Oh, you got something to say real quick?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
as far as like the Bari and Black thing, like I think everybody should know this, like especially with y'all too. Stop going to these black brands expecting a discount.
To pay less, yeah.
When you go to the Gucci store, you pay taxes on stuff after that price tag. Meanwhile, these black brands are giving y'all like a already a hookup price because they're trying to start up.
Yeah.
But once they are established, pay the price.
Pay the price.
Like I made a status the other day. Like it's unfortunate. I promise you, look at every other episode I have on black brand.
Well committed.
Today is the only episode I haven't worn black brand.
Yeah.
But I made a status of a big flex where I said, "You buy the designer, I buy from the designer."
Right.
That's a bigger flex.
That
Like
is a bigger
Yeah.
when I get my
Directly
Stuff
the
from Devin.
from the designer.
That's a bigger flex. Like if you knew the person who made Gucci,
Yeah.
that'd be a flex.
Yeah.
But you don't.
You don't know that.
I know the black designer. I'm buying from her. It's a
Yeah.
flex.
It's a- yeah.
Like
I believe
take
that.
pride in our black brands,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I agree, but I would say the caveat with that is I think you have to do it within reason too, right? Because so I have a degree in marketing, so I also understand like Gucci's spent their time building up their brand. Not saying that it's worth that price tag, right? But it's also through the years and them building up their brand, right? So the problem I have with certain up and coming brands, whether it's black or not, is sometimes they overvalue themselves and overprice themselves.
Yeah.
So they'll have a hoodie, we've talked about this before, they'll have a hoodie that they're selling for $75. You know what I'm saying? I'm not buying that shit. I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you my homie. $75 for a hoodie is outrageous.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying
It's all
$75 for a
about
Nike
Gucci.
hoodie. Right. Or, you know what I'm saying? So I would say, just my caveat with that is just, if your prices are reasonable, then I would say don't.
And
pay that.
I think
It's a lot.
real quick. So I think it's levels, but what you're saying makes sense. But I think also it depends on what you're spending the money on, right? So before you guys want to go, so all of us have spent some significant money on white-owned brands, right? So let's take that exact same number that we all just said, right? Are you guys, or would you guys be willing to spend on a black-owned business, right?
Apart from my Burberry belt, I probably don't spend that much on
Anything.
except that, like real shit. I legit wear like H&M, JCPenney,
Yeah.
some type of shit. I don't spend that much.
Yeah.
So that part alone, tied to what you're saying, I'm just gonna guess that's what you're saying. But like, because obviously, if you're not producing in bulk, then the price is higher, right? So if you're only gonna design one shirt, it's higher than
What do you call it? Limited.
100. Right. But I also think I think we play ourselves a lot because like people be like, first of all these brands, most of them have already like done something to offend black people, like Gucci and all that. They've done something outrageous, and you keep paying for it. So that's already wild in itself.
Yeah.
But y'all know me. Every episode, I be forgetting where I'm going.
I mean, you don't associate.
I be like,
You know what I'm saying? You don't associate Gucci to a
Down the
person
cup.
as much as you associate that black person to their brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we are a lot harder on ourselves and businesses in general.
Yeah.
But I also believe that when it comes to the Gucci's and the Louis and people have been in the game for a while, of course they've earned their right to charge what they charge. Like I can understand people like, yeah, you shouldn't be spending that much money on that not a black owned business. That's because it's not black owned. But let's be real.
Okay.
They've gained a reputation.
They have
And
a
if you
reputation.
want that reputation, you're gonna buy that brand.
Yeah.
Just like when that black company becomes that, you know what I'm saying? Because of people that support them, you're gonna pay a certain price. The higher they go up.
And I honestly like seeing black-owned brands grow in notoriety. Like Teflon.
Yeah.
That's black-owned, right?
That's
So,
all the time.
bag.
Teflon.
Is it
Yeah.
Teflon or Teflon?
Teflon.
my bad.
They
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
Teflon.
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 Yeah, but
Big T.
I like their purse. I like the solid color. Like I'm gonna get my girl. I feel like it's a good looking brand. When I see stuff like that, I want to support one because I think the quality is there. But two, it's like I feel like if I spend, I think their purse is like maybe like $100,
Like
maybe
$200.
$100 to $200.
$200.
I feel like it's worth that, right?
Yeah.
I hope he gets to the place where one day he can charge,
$16.
yeah.
Right.
But when he gets there, I'm probably not gonna be buying it no more.
Yeah.
Nah,
But just gotta go.
That is the flip side. of it.
Yeah, just kind of go by what they said and stuff like that. So I understand, like, owning a business. Like when I'm planning a release, the most difficult thing for me to do is pricing.
Same.
To get the pricing,
Yeah.
I spend time on the pricing, and I've had people come to me telling like, "Yo, you're charging way too cheap for this stuff, like what stuff like that." And for me, it's not necessarily about. Of course, I'm in it for the money, but I get a lot of joy when I'm walking down the street and I see
You
somebody
see
rocking
somebody in your
stuff. I'm like, "Yo, you got my stuff on."
Absolutely.
Like,
When that shit in the club, you
yeah,
like, I appreciate it.
yeah. Because there's been a time I was at the store and I saw somebody rocking my shirt and stuff, and I'm
That's
like,
dope.
wait, what?
That's
I'm like, well, I just kept walking. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna say what I
That's
did,
dope.
man.
That's dope.
But I just kind of go back to it. If somebody charges you $70 for a hoodie and say you're not gonna pay for it and stuff, so I'm gonna ask you a question. So if I'm gonna charge you $70 for the hoodie, and I promise you this hoodie is like great quality hoodie, like you could have this hoodie for like 20 years. You could wash it so many times into the machine, never gonna shrink. It's gonna do the job of a hoodie.
Right, never fade.
Never fade or whatever. But I'm charging $75 for that. But Gucci's charging like $2,000 whatever for a hoodie.
Right.
And more than likely you're gonna wash it like twice or whatever. You go like, damn, this thing's coming up on already or whatever. Are you still gonna say like, are you kind of seeing the reason why people are kind of charging that price? Because for me, when I come on my price, I'm looking at the quality. And like, you could attest to that. Anything I make, like before I release whatever, I test them out already. I wash them or whatever. I do sample, just check it out. Because I'm big on quality when I go order anything. Because I'm not gonna just buy any. Like the first thing I check is like the quality, not even the design, the quality of like, yo, I look like I had before.
Right.
So my question is like, what, like, if I'm providing like really good high quality stuff, are you willing to still pay that price?
Well, okay, so to answer your question, so yes, right? So part of the caveat was I was saying like, we've seen people that have spawned brands, right? So like we have LifeIsAscam hoodies too available, right? But we're not sitting there at a $100 price point, right? For a printed shirt, right? So it's different factors that go into things, right? So it could be the stitching, the quality. Like that's what I'm saying. I look into all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not opposed to spending $75 on a hoodie if it's worth
actual hoodie.
Yeah, if it's gonna
If
be
you're not
But
just
it's based on,
printed.
it's based on
Yeah.
line.
Okay, so Wes, so if I told you, like, if I came to you and I said, yo, Wes, so this hoodie right here, it was made from scratch. Like, I didn't go like whatever.
Right.
And like, just like all my stuff is made from scratch.
Right.
Right after
Like-
real quick.
Like, all my stuff is made from scratch. And one of the things I often get annoyed with is when people try to compare, like, try to compare my brand to other people. Like, well, I'm like, yo, this guy's brand still has the tag for Fruit of the Looms or
Right,
whatever.
right.
On the back of the shirt, mine literally has my label on it and everything, made from scratch, sewed together. Stitching is like impeccable stitching, like everything.
Talk your shit.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I'm
Talk
like,
my shit.
yeah. So I'm like, this is not. I'm not just going to like. I'm just not going to the mall, buy a bunch of shirts, plain shirts, and like, oh yeah, put my logo on it. And I
Okay.
I also think
respect
it's deeper than quality at this point in
Yeah.
today's day and age.
Yeah.
Because like I was talking to Shay about earlier, as far as like I've had to build my brand to the point that it could pay for itself. So now I can get manufactured. Now I can get everything custom. You know.
Yeah.
So yes, you can charge more, but also you got to feed the audience. It's still a business. So no matter how you feel about what you've grown personally,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. What your perspective is, it's still a business.
Yeah.
Your audience determines what you can charge. It
Very
is what it
true.
is.
It is,
And
yes.
this is something, right? So what I was gonna say, kind of like tied to everything you're saying is, like if your hoodie is $100 and you're just starting up, we don't even know if it's quality.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
There's a
It's
reputation.
Yeah.
Some other brands.
You got it correct.
There's a reputation. Like, okay, I'm gonna pay this amount, but this shit is actually going to last. Like everybody be talking about me, so like I played basketball. I was. Let me not date myself, but I have a hoodie from literally 2011. It's a Jordan hoodie.
You old as hell.
I still wear that shit today. Like, it's literally quality. It's still intact. It's still nice.
So
And people, every time I post, like, bro, you still got that hoodie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still,
and even back then, I'm like, this was like $200 and something, and I was like, damn, I had to do a fundraiser to raise the money for that hoodie. At the time, I was young, but it's still lasting till today.
Question:
So,
what material is that hoodie? Is it like what type of material you think it is?
Polyester.
Like,
more than like the
I'm gonna
polyester.
go with y'all the designers.
Yeah.
but what I'm saying to that is that you gotta understand, you as a designer and as a person that owns a fashion company, you have to look at trends too. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many factors. It's not just good quality.
Right.
If this not hot right now, it
Yeah,
might
it's
not
not
sell. You
necessary.
wasted your money.
Right.
I'm sorry.
To make sure I'm gonna be out in this cold, I'm gonna be out in the snow for hours.
And that shit
You want a certain quality.
So we damn near spent about $200
On the fit.
I regret it, yeah. But
Right,
But
but
you was warm as hell.
Now you
I'm
have it.
wearing for skiing, I'm wearing my motorcycle, everywhere.
snow days,
Snow
you gotta
days
fit it.
forever,
I
bro.
got my work, and then you also have the how you like you spend the money on based on how you want to rock it. Like you said, you have a $75. Not saying you have it, but you make a $75 hoodie. Gucci got a $7,500 hoodie. If that shit don't go with my shoes, I'm not wearing either one of y'all shit.
Right, if I go on my shoes.
But depending on like how I want to swag it, yes, I'm gonna go with your shit because like I'm not really worried about the focus. I'm worried about the swag of how I can wear it.
Yeah.
It's about wearing your clothing,
Right.
not about
But
your
I feel
clothing
like
wearing
That's
you.
So,
all your
how about this?
audience,
How about
though.
this?
Depends on your audience.
Whenever someone wears red bottoms, for example, you know, they take the picture like this with the red
You
bottoms.
have
Right.
to.
You gotta slight poke it out.
When
Everybody
did it, then I knew, because I'm like, Hov wouldn't do that, right?
Exactly.
Because they talking about niggas putting money.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but when Hov was
exactly.
like, man,
Yeah.
you see my shoes, I'm like,
Exactly.
So,
bet.
how do we get black-owned business to that level where you're like prideful to wear this shit? Where it's like, yeah, I'm rocking SE
It's
status.
dope though.
I think it's brand recognition,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I think that shit takes time, right? It takes time, and it takes the right people having
There you go.
your thing.
Yeah,
Like at the
there
end of
you
the day, like, you know what I'm saying? The reason why red bottoms are so in style, granted they were in style way before Cardi said bloody shoes and shit, right? But it's about putting those things in the right hands. So like if you two gave your brand to LeBron James, right? And he posted a picture.
Right.
Your shit would sell out immediately.
Fact.
Website
Yeah.
would crash
Yeah.
and
No,
everything. right?
there was someone that did that. It was this one girl on
A lot of
Instagram,
people
on
do it.
Twitter. She did Derrick Rose's dreads, and
the
Derrick
drink,
Rose
right?
took a picture
Yeah.
with her like with her
Yeah.
her hair shit.
Yeah.
She said
Gone.
she ran out of stock
I
because people
couldn't
just bought it.
supply them.
Because
Yeah,
right, she was like,
couldn't
I
supply
ran out of
them.
stock.
And it's
Yeah.
that, and it be that
Yeah.
simple.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what
That's
it is.
why
It's
as
cool.
a black person, wear black.
And that's why exactly we should
So
do more of that,
somebody
right?
else can say, "Oh, I
If-
seen that." Now they're
Exactly.
about to buy it.
If
Like,
Rose can make Shorty sell out in a day,
Right.
like why isn't it that we're all just
And
Right, but
Why
I
we
think
have
that's
to
two different things that y'all talking about. That's two different things that y'all talking about. Y'all talking about something that's like a hype moment. Then we talking about longevity.
Okay.
So that's two different things.
Okay, I
So
get that.
you're wrong. Everybody, of course, wants their hype moment, they making moment. Of course.
Yeah.
Because that's going to put you on the stage and some
But
people
it's
going to rock
people
with you
keep going
forever.
back, yeah.
But you want longevity more than anything. Like, if I get 100 people in Chicago that's going to keep buying my stuff that nobody knows outside this world, I would rather
good,
have
you
that
good.
than that one famous person.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference.
You got me, because I'm all about free shipping.
It
I'm
goes
trying to add
in
it to
different
my
ways.
cart.
You know what I'm saying? But of course you want that.
Right.
You want that.
So, and I was gonna say, I agree with that. And I say, to answer your question in the sense, like, how do we get people to buy more black-owned brands? I think it starts with having people think for themselves. I think we live in a society today where it's literally just followers. And that's what speaks to like the LeBron point or a famous person. Like as soon as they see it, oh, I gotta buy it. Oh, I gotta buy it. You know what I'm saying? So I think when we get to the point where people can freely think for themselves, back to that point, where it's just not like, oh, I gotta buy this Gucci shit because that's what's in. I think that's when we're gonna see the rise of black brands because you're gonna be proud of what you actually buy.
Of what you rock.
Most people buy shit and they don't even like
They
this
don't
shit.
like it.
This shit is ugly.
And I think we have to be blessed to be able to think for ourselves is the first thing. Like for us to be able to think for ourselves and say I want to wear black and not designer, be happy about that. Because like you said, I know people. So like Damn, should I
Call
get,
him
should
out.
I get us canceled?
Call him out.
All right,
Call
so
him
here we
out.
go.
Call him out.
So now, no knock. So the thing is, I know a lot of nurses, right? Nurses, they work hard, they get paid, and you can work overtime and get a lot of money.
Yeah. You
So
can
a
be a
lot
travel
of-
nurse. They
so-
pay like $90 an hour,
No, it depends. A lot.
$105
So
an
I
hour.
know a lot of nurses. My mother's a nurse. I know a lot of people in healthcare. So when you work hard, you feel like you should reward yourself.
Yeah.
So like a lot of nurses, I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of nurses have designer items. It becomes like a standard.
It's a stand for
It's
them.
literally like
Yeah.
a standard. So now,
When you get
1,
that
2,
first
3, 4,
paycheck,
5, 6.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 6 of us, right? Let's say we're all nurses, and let's say y'all two the newest nurses. We've been doing this shit. We get money. Now we go out. We go to brunch. We all got our LV purses.
Yeah.
Which,
On the
which
table.
all of us we put on the table when y'all
gotta
take
get it.
pictures and YSL purses, Chanel purses, what y'all
And
do? Y'all
tag
put it
them
on the
with it.
table. Y'all take pictures, right? Boom. What y'all think y'all two gonna do?
I'm worried about money extra hours. I'm gonna get that.
I'm
I
gonna
got
get
some
that
of
and I'm gonna cop that. And
That's
that's
about a week.
so I know somebody that legit bought a LV purse and was like,
Just to make
I don't
this
even
thing
want
yeah.
it. Yeah, but like my friends told me I
But there's a
buy
term for
my
that
own.
for nurses. Like, I forgot the exact term, but because me and Donaldson we talked about it before too.
It's
where-
like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
It's like it is. It's like for lawyers.
That
Like
first
that
check,
bag is
that
like the
first couple
signature
checks.
bag.
I know you
That's
told
the
me you wanted
bag.
the LV
The
bag.
LV
You
bag,
told
the
me. You
signature,
said-
that's what it
Yeah,
is.
that's
Like
what-
you
right.
made
If you are a
That's
lawyer,
crazy,
you
right?
need to get that back.
That's
But-
right.
But
It
it
is.
goes back to
Standard.
like, you know, like what is the standard thing to show for when you make it into the NBA? You go get your white chick. When you get your white chick, you're like,
Yeah.
We have a fast car.
fast car.
or
I'm
that
ready.
big old house.
Yeah, for LeBron James.
No, I'm just
Not the right
no. I'm saying that most guys when they get into the league,
Time out.
Make back
That's what it
Now,
is.
so now back to
Ah, wait.
I got this.
Let me.
I'm gonna get us back on the basketball aspect. So not most guys wake up and just be like, I make it to the NBA and I'm gonna get myself
Well,
a
how,
white
yeah.
chick. So what happens is, depending on your talent,
I mean, obviously, yeah.
depending on your talent and your upbringing, you're probably already put to a certain group.
Bronny.
Right.
For
So
example.
example for Bronny now, he goes to Sierra Canyon High School. You know what Sierra Canyon High School costs per year?
About 1,000.
More than I make a year.
Yes, take a guess. How much Sierra Canyon
Just
High
pick a
School
number,
costs?
randomly.
A quarter of a million or like half a million.
That's too high. It costs like $60K a year.
Okay, nah.
And-
Oh, this high school.
and our
High
and our
school.
high school is like $750 free
Yo,
lunch.
free. My high school was free. I didn't pay a thing to go to
Yeah,
it.
I had to pay to reduce lunch bullshit or something. Your income. So $60K to go to that school.
Per
So-
year.
and we always talk about it. So now, Bronny's dad is LeBron James.
And that's why he can afford to go to that school.
But wait, even when he's walking in school, yeah, your dad's LeBron James, but like, okay, my dad owns the Lakers. My
So-
dad
so-
literally pays your
Your
dad.
dad's salary.
My dad literally owns the Warriors. Like,
Yeah,
like,
what's up?
and if y'all go watch that documentary, like, one dude on the basketball team said, like, yo, everybody at this school is somebody's, like,
Somebody's
cousin,
kid.
nephew,
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now, how many black people you think paying $60K for a high school?
For high school.
Not
How they can
that many.
afford it?
So Bronny right now himself is already tied to a certain group. There ain't that many black
He don't
girls
see
in
black
any.
people.
So he's not
Because what happened is like something leaked and like they're like he only likes white girls and they already started attacking a 15-year-old. He's
Yeah.
15 years old and his mom had to come out like, gee, leave my son alone. Like why y'all worried about my son's life?
Yeah.
Because so like
But to be
I mean-
fair, he's not exposed to it. Like,
yeah, it's just,
I went to a high school where I think there was like one white family in my entire high school, and like it was just them. You know what I'm talking
they
about?
be little. They be little.
Yeah, I mean,
They be little. Each year you have X
it
amount of
trickles,
white
yeah.
people. It ain't that many.
I can't remember their name. Yeah, but it was a heavy. You could count them on your hands how
Yeah.
many white people was in our
Black,
school.
Hispanic,
So
white.
like, I only dated black girls.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see white people to date. But imagine it's the exact opposite. Imagine you can only count the only black people play basketball,
Yeah, and it's all guys.
and it's all guys.
So you
Right.
don't even have black girls to talk to and
Yeah.
date.
I've never had a white team.
So a lot of them,
Really?
they're not open, they're not taking it. I mean, you got to be the shooters of shooters, and you're not going to a black school.
Yeah,
But
so-
anyway, so like their upbringing, a lot of these players don't even know that many black girls coming up.
So they did what they're supposed
You
to.
know what they see?
But also,
Yeah,
I think that black people in general.
A lot of
Half the time, they're not even real black girls to begin with. Half the time.
I think black people in general, we have like a very living up to the Joneses type of mentality
Yeah, of
about
course.
certain things.
You gotta make it.
Really about everything.
You gotta make it.
So even when it comes to like tying it back to like fashion and clothes and things, so when we go get the Louis, we go get the Gucci and
Yeah,
all of
flex.
this, it's like a flex. But
You wanna
but
flex.
who we flexing on? We flexing on our own
That's
people.
what
Because who
I'm
you
saying.
flexing on?
Yeah.
Like
That's
they
a
already
statement.
had it.
Yeah,
They've been
yeah,
doing it.
So,
So
and
who
that's,
we
and
flexing
I
on?
think that's the thing,
No,
right? So that's
but
what
black
makes
people
luxury
not
luxury,
flexing.
right?
But we
want
also
what
like
other
luxury.
people don't have.
But we also like luxury.
Why
I think,
though?
no.
Is it the quality? Because it's not the quality. I don't believe
No,
it.
time out.
It's not
It
that.
depends on what it is. There is quality in certain things. Because, like, for me, like, when you see old black people that are, like, they made it, they either got a Corvette, they either have a Benz or a Beamer. So now,
And that's your idea.
But-
that's,
no, I'm-
that's,
but-
that's inside.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
We
but
like
check it,
we
check
like
it, check it.
luxury. So then, a Benz don't drive like a Toyota.
I agree.
If you're gonna be
Agreed.
honest. So, and if you work hard, like just like you get your bag, if you work hard for it and you can have it, do what you gotta do. Now, if you broke trying to chase somebody else, that's when you start playing yourself. If you broke and you don't have it and you trying to level up.
Yeah.
But if it's a black 60-year-old that already made it, whatever, and you got your S-Class, you know the motherfuckers ride smooth.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
you have a TV in your car,
Yeah.
it's different.
I got
so
but this is
do
the
what
thing
you-
though.
do
One
what
thing though.
works
So
for
I feel
you.
like luxury is different for every person, and luxury should be different for every person, right? It's definitely subjective. But I feel like you shouldn't buy luxury brands just because the Joneses are buying luxury.
Just the pressure of it.
You should buy things that you like, right? So like for me, my flex, I like to travel. I like to do shit like go skiing, right? I want to go to Colorado. I want to
Literally
go.
skiing,
Oh yeah, like literal skiing,
Skiing,
not
not drugs.
not drugs, not doing coke. No, like I want. Oh yeah, I want.
I was confused. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't know that. Until you said, I didn't know that.
shit
Yeah, like,
For the
So
camera,
time out.
tell them what
So
you're
check this
talking
out. So personally, I didn't know either. But when I was in LA, my friend visited, and this girl was like, "You want to go skiing?"
Yeah, right.
And my dumb ass, well, this girl told me and my friend, and my dumb ass was like, "Oh,
hell yeah, man.
no!" I'm like, "I snowboard."
I snowboarded.
He skis. So she was talking to him, thinking like, "No, for real, he really got coke on him." So she kept talking to him about coke, blah 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 blah. But recently we like started talking again. He's like, "Yo, did you know like skiing was coke?" That's what she was talking about. I'm like, "Huh?"
And like, you got the
She's like, "Yeah,
mention
no,
of
doing the line
it.
is skiing." That's what she kept saying, and you didn't get it. So you talking about snowboarding, and she thought we was really fucking with her. But skiing is legit doing the line, like ski, like for real.
Correct
like,
that
real
that wasn't
life
what I was talking about earlier.
I was actually with
Oh, okay. We were talking about. I was thinking about skiing, wintertime.
Well, you
Yeah,
been thugging,
you
thugging,
say
you
y'all
know,
had
thugging
to
recently,
ski
right?
last one,
Yeah.
Y'all right, okay.
Right. So
But that's just the
I feel
craziest
like,
thing ever.
no, but
Yeah.
that's a flex for some people, like travel.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to this country, I'm going to that country, right?
But notice the between a flex and a sport though. Like we brought up, we are nurses or whatever. We show up to dinner. For one, before I go buy that Gucci purse that you other four nurses have, I probably won't go to dinner with y'all again. because y'all I don't want to be like y'all. Y'all are different. Two, before I buy a Gucci purse, I'm gonna try to outdress y'all and look better than y'all. That's just like if you say if you go to the club with Fab, don't try to throw more money to him because you won't win.
Right.
Try to outdress him.
Right,
You
win
might not
area
win that either, but
But
try to
you're not gonna
outdress
throw
him.
money.
You're not gonna throw more money than him. No difference between a sport and a flex.
You're not
You
gonna
have a
address
different,
that.
and the thing is, we have to be blessed that you have a
Exactly.
different
And
mind.
I think that's what he's saying.
Some people don't have
Just-
that different
we
mind.
might
Like these are
have
the same
that
workers you work
mindset,
with every
but
day. And that
everybody
shit to them
don't.
like where you grind.
Yeah.
And like, bro, so like, real, I'm dead ass jealous of nurses. I'm salary, so I can't just be like, I'm gonna go to work today and rack up. Nurses can be like, I'm going under for 30 days.
Yo, I've seen that.
They
man.
working 16 hours.
Yeah. They're
Like
like,
racking up.
yeah,
and
they're
they
like an
come out.
iPhone 12. That's like
And they make-
three
they make
shifts.
somebody salary.
It's like 3 shifts.
Bro, one shift. So nurses like,
So
so
one
now
shift.
we all nurses, right? I could be like, fuck that, I'll put my shift up. So my shift can be up for like, let's say we can pay 50 an hour. If nobody picks that shift up, by the time it's about to be the time for the shift, that shift can go to 100 an hour.
Yeah.
Now you finna pick that motherfucker up, and now it's 16-hour shift.
Right.
You just came up.
So Kay want to be a nurse is what I'm hearing.
Hey, at this point,
Hey,
trying to
They're
trying to get with a nurse.
Yeah,
he's like, hey,
If you're a doctor,
Right.
talk to me.
But I think it all just boils back down to, at the end of the day, do what makes you happy.
Do what makes you
Because
happy.
at the
Don't
end
follow
of the
trends.
day,
Yeah.
if everybody here has a Louis purse, and we're all nurses, we go out to eat, that may be what y'all are into, right? I hope and pray that's what y'all generally want, right?
That's fine.
And
And that's fine. We're
right,
not knocking y'all.
Right, yeah, right. We're not knocking that. So maybe that's not my thing, right? So maybe y'all got nice purses, but my thing is my home decor, right? So you come to my house is super nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I put money into things that I want.
Yeah, and that's what kind of what Shay was saying.
So
Sorry,
what-
if you
what's
flex
the-
on things you
flex,
want to
yeah.
flex
Have your
on.
own mind.
Yeah.
And like what you like. So
Like what you like,
traveling,
yeah.
whatever it is, because
I think fashion, yeah, everybody. But if you really into fashion, it's certain standards of it.
Yeah.
It's certain things that you just kind of have to be into, if that
Like
makes
what?
sense.
Elaborate, yeah.
Like, okay, the fact that I'm into fashion, of course I like certain brands. I'm gonna go look at all the Gucci new arrivals. Of course, just
You like
because I'm
Gucci?
not buying it.
You like
Yes,
Gucci?
yes, I like Gucci.
even when they be on bullshit with black people.
I still like Gucci
Ooh,
brand.
okay.
I'm not saying I support their point of
No, no,
view.
I just said that.
But I'm saying, like, if you really into fashion, you're still gonna look at the elites.
Yeah, 'cause that's where you get
still-
inspiration
That's
from.
your,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's the demographic. That's
Right,
the
right.
field you're in.
Okay.
So you can't
Yeah.
ignore
Yeah.
who is
The top.
considered the
Exactly.
top. Like,
But
you know
it's
what I'm
trend,
saying?
like fashion trends constantly
Yeah,
changing, so you gotta know
trends,
what's
you have
out there
to,
and what's
you
not out
know.
But
there.
sometimes they just be just releasing shit.
Yeah,
man.
that's
I agree.
But
I agree. And for brands like us, we're probably looking at them like,
Safety
you know,
hazard.
that you can charge that for it.
Right.
That's
You
not
saw
trained.
you saw the
That's
pants.
not even trained.
Yeah, those are pants like they had like grass stains on it or whatever, and they were like
Yeah, all
charging that
type of
shit
stuff.
like,
No,
like for $3,000 or
The
whatever.
wake up
for
call,
that.
the wake up call was Yeezy. Like he put holes in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, and y'all know
Yeah.
African parents, bro. If you wearing distressed jeans, holes
Oh,
in your
yeah,
clothes,
yeah.
or even paint in your clothes.
Like she young Jenny,
Right,
right?
like homeless. Like, my parents,
Like,
my
yo,
dad,
you know-
personally, my dad, if he sees me in these jeans right now, distressed,
Yeah.
he be trying to rip them
Yeah.
because he's like, "Oh, you want to wear ripped jeans? Let me help you out." And I be
Yeah.
like, "No, I got time, brother." I'm
Yeah.
dead ass. Like he
Yeah.
literally tries
Oh,
to
it's
rip.
serious.
'Cause they're ripped jeans.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you wearing ripped jeans?
Why you spend money to buy it?
Why you spending more money to wear
ripped
less
jeans.
clothes?
Yeah.
But like
That's what it is.
Kanye really came out and put holes in the t-shirt.
And people were paying
And
100,
motherfuckers
250,
really
whatever
wanted to wear
for
for holes in the
Yeah.
t-shirt. And I was in Burlington one day. It was like paint.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you think about a kid holding paint,
Yeah,
and
for the
still
shirt,
something,
yeah.
and the shirt was like 3 something.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Alright,
No, but
But you
know,
wouldn't buy it
it's
if it's a
funny.
black designer. You wouldn't buy it
Speak-
if
true.
you wouldn't pay that
I
much.
ain't buying that if it was a real designer. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Yeezy though, the shoes he just released. The one that look like the one not even the Crocs. The one that look like skeleton shoes.
Those are the Crocs.
Yeah, it's like, it's like
Eli kind of like them.
Eli like them.
I
I think those is the ugly
If you wear like size
shoes.
6,
Comfortability, though.
if you wear size 6 and under, if you wear size 6 and under, I think they may be okay. But if I try
You got
to,
big shoes,
if
big
I try to
feet.
wear them motherfuckers that size 13,
Yeah.
I would look
But
stupid.
And that's kind of go back to
I
what,
think
yeah.
that kind of speaks to like wear what you like, right? So like when you drop them in the chat, you're like, "Would y'all wear?" I'm like, "Nah, I would never buy those shoes."
Yeah.
But he was like, "Yeah, I like them. They look decent." So if he likes them because he likes them and not because it's easy, then he could buy them. He could rock them and be
In
cool
respect
with
to
it.
E to say he knows what he likes, because some people
Exactly.
they would just hide under the shell.
But after
and
everybody in
they're
the group chat already
I
said they
it
don't
no
like
more.
it, like, oh,
Yeah,
nobody
let's
else
be
that
real.
shit. So I'm
Yeah.
Cut
like,
that. Let's be real. Let's be
Yeah.
real. If anybody could afford to buy all the luxury all the time, they would. In reality,
I don't think so.
I'm not saying, but that does not mean that you wouldn't still support the black companies.
Right, okay,
But
she
if
right.
you could still consistently afford the
Only
Louis,
luxury.
the Gucci, the all
She
luxury
right.
brands, I'm not saying you gonna say forget
I
everybody
would say
black,
that's
but
false.
you're still
I
gonna
would
do
say
that.
somewhere it's false. Because
Right, bro.
I could wake up and say I want to buy Louis every day. Well, not every day. I'm lying. But
I'm saying you can afford to say that. What would you not?
I can, bro. And my brother be saying that shit like, bro. One day my brother was like, you know how many cars I could go buy right now? We can do that shit, but it just does not make
And that's
sense.
the thing.
I went to work and worked for this shit.
Yeah.
So what you holding on
But
to?
I'm
The money?
saying what she said is
No, but you have different responsibilities.
What-
So what if you already
what's
have
your-
property? What
no,
if you
what's
already
your
have the
future?
wealth? If you can afford, what I mean afford
She
is
said
mean that
she
money
said
is not an
It's all
object.
about building
The money
equity,
is
though.
not an
You
object.
have
Why
to-
would you
you have to
not?
remember that I really just mentioned earlier that I bought a $2,000 coat for $40 because the designer knew they were not going to lose money from it. You have to understand, like, they've already marked it up so much they can bring it back down and still break
And still-
and
yeah,
break
still be
even.
good.
That's not
so,
what she said.
That's not what
I
I'm
hear
saying.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm not going to pay that amount
Right.
if I know if
But-
I can afford that amount.
Nah,
They said
nah,
even
nah, nah.
she said even to afford
Well,
it.
it's
Like,
not
you got the
a-
money to afford it. No,
Wait, I get what he's saying.
can't
He's
afford it.
saying,
Because you know what you know,
I
you
can't
cannot
afford
spend the
it.
money
Yeah, I can't
because
afford
you
it.
know what you
I
know.
don't give a fuck.
Is
I
what
can't
you're saying.
afford it.
Okay.
No, but-
I can't afford it. Fuck it.
wait. This is what he's saying. At the end of the day, even if he has $1 billion, $100 billion in this account, Because I agree with
His
this.
expenses will go up.
No, but listen,
No,
listen. You
no.
know,
He
let me
said-
learn. Even if he has 100 billion in his account, right? He has a mindset now where he's worked behind the scenes. It's like people that work with slaughtering pigs and shit, and
They don't eat pork, yeah.
because they see it behind the scenes. So him working in an environment where it's like, bro, it's a sick concept that you guys are charging $20,000
For something that costs 40 to make.
Right.
But-
So
Not
regardless,
even 40, 40 cents.
Bro, yeah, literally $1, bro.
They make this stuff in China, bro.
Money buys access,
real, bro.
money buys so much
For
that
real.
you would not even stress, you wouldn't even go through the stress of trying to figure out a way to get a discount.
and
When you
that's
have
what-
money, it's a
No,
different
no,
level,
no,
it's a different
no,
perspective.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I get what you're saying. But we're not even saying we want a discount. We're saying it turns us off to that brand just in and as itself. Like once you know the true price of something and you see how much they charge for it, it doesn't matter if I have 100 billion. No, I'm not buying that shit. It's
Okay.
just, it's just a bad
But
shit.
what, what she's
Not
saying
even for me to
is,
spend money on it.
I
It's
hear
like, that's
What
not
if you
it.
don't know personally about
Ojo-
that particular
Ojo
brand? You might spend
No,
your money on
you
the
know,
other
Ojo-
brand.
Fake jewelry.
Yeah, so you think Ojo can't afford
he
to
got
buy-
real jewelry though. Don't let him say him buying fake jewelry don't mean nothing.
Don't mean nothing.
This is what she's saying.
But now,
Okay, look, real quick. You used to cut your hair on. Did anybody used to cut their own hair?
I cut my homies hair, they go
Right,
for $9
okay.
$5. Beat the system.
Now that you have a job, have you ever paid for a haircut?
I do, but not
Because it's
Yes.
affordable now.
No,
That's
time
what
out,
she's
time out,
saying.
time out,
It's
time out,
affordable.
Perspective, that's luxury.
I've never been able to afford mics. Now that I'm able to afford them, I sit on bound, but I buy other shoes the same fucking price.
I cut my own hair.
Alright.
I save
Okay,
that money.
but you been to the
$30
barbershop before.
Okay, I have.
You got earrings in your ear. You got chain on. You have a car outside. You used to ride a bike. People take buses. The more money you make, the value of things
Your
lessens.
value, what you
Then
do
you
on
take-
everyday basis.
Look, look,
Exactly.
Wes tried to agree with you.
Well, comfortability.
But ask Wes how much his suits used to cost and how much his suits
No,
cost
no,
now.
go ahead. Get their ass. What you talking about?
No.
Hit
And
their ass.
I'm not saying, hold on, I'm not saying
Time out. Hit their ass one time, and I'm gonna be right behind you.
prove
I'm gonna be right
I'm
behind
not
you.
saying that you won't buy anything that is
Wes,
low
go
price.
crazy.
What I'm saying is that you are more willing and more
No.
comfortable paying a
Go
certain
crazy.
price for
The material
certain
has
pieces.
different-
Go crazy.
Wait,
Let
wait,
them
wait,
talk. Go crazy.
Before you
I'm right
ask the
behind you.
question, because you might hit us with some numbers like, oh wow, you paid that much for suits?
Hit them.
True, but what do you accentuate the suits with? All your posts,
Everything with it.
you be having
LV.
designer
Wait,
brand
say
here,
everything. Go ahead. Say
designer
everything.
brand here,
Say everything.
designer
But
brand
how's the
on
price?
feet.
Go ahead.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
not pulling
scam.
up because
Time out. The name LifeIsAScam came for a reason.
Yeah.
Hit their ass. I'm right behind you. Fuck
Bro, what y'all gotta understand is,
Yeah.
so what y'all made some valid points. But at the end of the day, I still pay the same amount for suits that I paid before. They're all H&M suits, ASO suits, especially with suits. So I have an image consulting business, and I have one class where I even teach people, especially with suits, because they have Tom Ford suits, they have all types of suits, and it's all literally damn near the same material. Granted, you can get some different types of material, but for the most part, it's all the same thing. So me, to answer y'all questions, I pay the same amount for suits. My suits don't be over $100.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
so
Are
now,
the shoes? Are the shoes different?
yeah.
You were wearing H&M shoes.
No,
baby.
wait, time out. I got you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not an elevation in your class. That's an elevation.
We got
Y'all see how we
80
come. Y'all see how we come. Go ahead. So what are you gonna say?
I was saying is that yes, he is spending less than $100 on
Okay,
shirts.
uh-huh.
I feel that,
Right.
right? But he dresses it up.
Okay.
Right? He accentuates points to make the suit
I
go
love
from
it.
a
Yeah.
exactly.
And
from
he
a
mentioned that earlier.
to a
He
more.
got a plug to get those other items
True.
as well to make it boom, bro.
What you need to
I
plug? You
didn't,
got
I
the
didn't,
plug
you
for
thought I
a
went to
reason.
Christian Louboutin to get my red bottoms? No, I know a man that got a plug. We gonna make a deal. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get my red bottoms. So boom, I get my red bottoms. I post my red bottoms. You know what type of DMs I was getting?
A lot of them.
So
And not
you know
even-
the
not even-
power of the
But not even
brand.
just women, but like, bro,
Right.
please, can you send me this amount of money?
So y'all know the power of the brand. If
You
y'all
have
didn't know the power of the
We
brand,
beat
y'all
the
wouldn't even
system.
go for the plug.
But we beat the system to that brand.
Before you made the
I
You know
money.
the power of the brand. Once you know the power of the brand, you willing to go.
Yeah,
you willing to
because
go out your way. What I'm saying is that when
If
you
you
have
would
money,
have posted
you don't
a
need that.
different, if you would have posted a different picture,
You don't need it,
Wes,
but I would still
let's
utilize
say,
it.
let's do this.
Know what I know?
I want to challenge
But
you to do
most
something.
people wouldn't. That's what
I want to challenge you to do something. Your next post,
Right.
Don't want no design.
no designer. and let's compare your likes.
Bet
So
you still do money.
no lapel,
My next post gonna be
no
Monday.
lapel, no belt,
Still do money.
no lapel, no boots, no
Still money.
belt, no
Still
shoes.
No
money.
G-Wag in
Hey,
the back.
Wes.
No G-Wag in the back.
Hey, Wes, steal money. Let me take the picture. Be
And
straight.
then I want you to compare your likes,
What's coming Monday?
and I want you to compare how many other pages share your image, because you get a lot of
Those are great.
exposure,
I like that. I
right?
like that.
So I want to challenge you to see what that look like. But we've had an exciting episode, y'all. Everybody has a lot to say about this. We gonna run this one back, okay? We gonna run this one back.
Our
But
cameraman
I
is
want to
sweet.
thank y'all. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I want to ask y'all to like, share, subscribe, comment, and tune in. So look, respond. Let us know what you feel about this. Like, what brands do you buy? What brands do you spend money on? What black businesses do you buy? What black businesses do you spend money on? Shout out to our 2 guests. I definitely appreciate
They
y'all
will be
for tuning in. They will be tagged. Support them. I'm gonna buy something from both of y'all as
Right.
soon as today's over with.
I got one quick thing to say at the end.
All right, Wes got one quick
Wait,
thing to
take us
say.
out, take
Go
us out,
ahead,
bro.
and
You
you
got
got,
it.
yeah, you
Take
got
us
to
out,
wrap it
right?
up.
Yeah.
Give us a life teaching
I'm
moment
taking
too.
us
A
out with a
LifeIsAScam teaching
Ooh,
moment. Give us one of
he got
those
one of
too.
those. He looked at you like,
All right. Well, first I was gonna say before Life is a Scam teaching moment, please stop making them fucking Fast and Furious movies. I'm tired of that shit.
Wait,
Please
time out.
stop.
That's what
You really have us up.
What is that?
Where was that?
Bro, cause you gotta
Bro, he said we get it recently.
Don't even go into it. Don't even go into it.
like
Don't even go into it.
a Google file. Y'all gotta understand. Too Fast, Too Furious was literally my favorite movie. Like, it's still to this day, it's one of my favorite movies. I like Training Day and all that shit. Too Fast,
I'm so
my
confused.
favorite movie. And now these niggas are just doing it. There is a
But this is the thing.
Somebody's gotta
No,
say
time out. One second.
You do the scam.
This is what he was doing. Please subscribe first. Like, if you're watching this, go ahead and reshare it, right? So, kind of like, if we had 0 subscribers, there might be people like that don't want to watch us. If we got 1 million subscribers, there's gonna be people watching us
Just because you got to be
just because we got. If LeBron decides to watch us, you know how many people gonna watch us. So first of all, we're dedicating a lot of time to this. We're bringing guests, taking their time out. The young man got to go break his fast. Iftar, Ramadan, respect to that, you know. Please, to keep us going, because it takes a lot to, bring these episodes together. Black people, I'm always late.
He showed up an hour and a half late, y'all, but it's
Trying to eat.
So just go ahead and subscribe,
CP
please.
time.
Go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, share. I thought that's what he was going to say. He's
Stop
talking
making
about Fast
a
and
movie.
Furious. I'm so confused. But please, get us out there. We're growing. We love to do this. We'll tap into other topics as well. We're going to bring our lawyers back.
Yeah,
because,
we're going to bring our
Black
fashion
excellence,
designers
how
back.
we
We're going to bring
rocking.
all y'all back,
But
definitely.
yeah, so that's all.
Yeah,
Talking
I
about
appreciate you guys for having us.
All right.
But once again, thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. We'll catch y'all next
God
episode.
We out.
Yeah.
Yo, Wes, who
Real
next
quick.
Wes?
Hey, real quick. To prove that she was right,
I just
don't
think I
nobody
told
in
you
here got
something.
an iPhone 5.
That's right.
No.
No.
That's
the same thing.
No, just wait.
Some of them they don't even work.
No.
Yeah, no, they're not so
Time out.
right.
No, it's
I
not.
had an iPhone
Time
7
out.
for
Wait a
when the
minute.
iPhone got
Wait a
damn 10
minute.
came out, it was still working.
Wait a minute. I started with iPhone at 3GS.
Right. You upgraded because you can afford it.
No.
Why
They
you upgraded?
also had lawsuits. They literally slowed down.
I don't want to hear that.
No,
What you got
got
now?
You
What
wearing
you got now?
red bottoms with
What
jogging
do you got
pants. You used to
now?
always wear red bottoms with jogging
Listen to me
pants.
though.
I'm asking what do you got now? Ask
No,
the
you
question.
didn't.
talking
Stop
to you.
playing.
How far do you got now? Okay.
You elevate, you buy stuff yourself. Cut it out. I don't care what y'all say about it. As you elevate, put up your money elevate, so you know taste elevate. So don't ever act like that's not what y'all do.
That's not true.
Now, 1 second.
So you used to always wear red bottoms with jogging pants.
That's what my father tells me. That's what my father tells me.
I'll get you a link from K. I'm gonna grab something from
I'm gonna give it to him, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna give my Instagram. Just
Okay.
like
Yo.
the
You
website.
gotta listen to learn.
Listen to learn.
Thank you for coming.
Hey, hold on, let me get a picture, bro, because when you blow, I'm gonna be like, I know this nigga.
I have an iPhone.
Dead ass.
I got y'all.
Yeah.
I ain't got your drone, though, but-
No, I don't either.
Yeah, right.
What we said is you can afford it now.
Well,
Right,
no, I
right.
can't afford an iPhone 11 Pro. I take
You too,
but I'm
nigga.
not
I
gonna
need
pay
a
for it.
lawyer.
I'm not
I
gonna
need a
pay
lawyer.
for it.
I pay $4
Alright,
for
you
it.
ready?
Yeah. I don't pay shit for money. I get them what I had before, upgraded, I changed from Sprint to T-Mobile, and that's why I finally got it. But still, there's processing differences in the capability of the phone. When they try to push up against your iOS,
Why you gotta Apple Watch? You feel like you shouldn't.
Wait, you gotta change learn and learn less than $40 for this. My Amazon credits. I'm not paying full price for this. I can't afford it. You got me.
Shut up, Kenny, man.
Every time. I pay
Not always.
the only thing I pay the only thing I pay the if you say Beamer, then sure.
But
Why you buy the Beamer then? Why you buy the Beamer then?
It drives different. It's different.
I agree that luxury cars, yes, I believe that foreign cars drive different. I agree with that. But you bought it because you can afford it right now, right? You can afford it. You got to the point that you can afford it, right? So it wasn't such a hassle. It was what your standard was, right? So say that, yeah, when your standard, as your money grows, your standard grows.
No, but
I agree with that.
That's all it is.
y'all had to be y'all ban anything. Y'all ban anything.
No, that's not true.
Don't try to
If somebody came up to me,
I bet it's a wrap.
if somebody's like, yo, that goes with IT $4 million.
No, but like, what you